welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who is currently drinking a cup of coffee and looking for a cat. It's Norbert Morvan.
Jonesy, where are you? Jonesy. God damn it, Jonesy.
I gotta tell you something, Norbert. I was talking to my wife Megan the other day, and we were watching some show where I think it was like Taken. We were just having a conversation. I was like, if my cats ever got kidnapped by terrorists, I would go on a throat chopping mission across the world to save them. So when people make comments about Ripley, played by Sigourney Weaver, rescuing the cat and making fun of it, I'm like, you better watch out, man.
Dude, I showed my students Alien and Aliens about a week ago for the first time, and I was appalled at the number of them that said, just leave the cat and run to the escape pod. It's appalling, man. You know, people who don't have pets, you know, people who don't have things like empathy and emotions and a soul. You know, you can't just leave your cat to be murdered by an 8-foot tall creature with acid for blood who's generally unpleasant. That's not nice.
All right, you know on Monty Python's The Holy Grail, right? When, John Cleese's character runs to the castle and just starts wiping out people in the castle until he gets up to the balcony. If my cats were in that balcony, I would do the same thing.
This is what you have to do, man. You just cleave a swath of destruction until you achieve your goal, man, which is the protection of your cat. You know, people, how can you just abandon your pet, man? Now, you know what? Honestly, I draw the line at fish, though, because fish are stupid.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do with fish? Like, so I had a fish tank and I loved it, but you can't just pack up fish and put them in your truck.
No, not at all. Not at all. And especially if you're going to end up in an escape pod and then you got to go into the hypersleep chamber for 57 years, that fish is going to be frozen solid.
I'd chance it because she could freeze her. She froze herself. Jeez Louise. With the cat. So you could try that with the fish.
Well, the thing is, the fish needs water to survive, right? So what is recycling that water? You know what I mean? If you put it in the stereotypical little plastic bag that you get when you go to Petland and you buy the goldfish 7 for $10, you know, that thing's going to be dead, man. That water is eventually going to expire. It's going to become more carbon dioxide than oxygen, man.
It's space
water.
Fish is
over. Well, I mean, you know, in space, no one can hear you drown.
It's Jennifer Aniston's Smart Water 100 years later.
I mean, you know, are we buying water from Goop? What's going on?
I love the water from Goop. I just bought a case, and they come in 1-foot tall glass bottles that have been, and it's $12. No, I'm joking. So I gotta say something. So a lot of people in this movie, they talk about, you know, it's one of the most influential horror films, action films ever made. They love to talk about Ripley. They love to talk about Giger's production design. And there's a charming documentary on YouTube called Giger's Alien. It's 30 minutes long, and it's narrated by him. And it is charming. I don't want to start off with that, Norbert. I want to first tell you that I love that they started off with the year 2122 because it is so easy to remember.
2122, that's
so,
great.
Yeah, you know, sometimes there's years like 2036, and you're like, I'm not going to remember that.
No.
It's like 2122.
2122, there's kind of an onomatopoeia going on there.
22 comes after 21. Easy. Sold.
Exactly.
Like, I'm in. So as soon as you hear that, you're like, that works out well. Like, more movies need to do that. They need to be like.
Well, 2012. Yeah. 2012 off the tongue.
Yeah, 2012.
And then there was always 2010, the year we made contact. That was great.
2021 is coming up. Oh.
What you got?
2021 is coming up.
2021 is coming up, man. I marked by myself, Transformers the movie came out 86, and the announcer's like, in the year 2005, the Autobots have lost the battle for their home Cybertron. I was like, oh, it's 2005 now. Woo, smoke it up.
I think 1999 is good, and I think that's why I love Deep Blue Sea so much.
Right.
It's so easy. 1999.
It's kind of shaped like a shark fin if you really think about it.
Yeah. Blue. And if you flip over the nines, you have 1666.
Okay, and now we're talking about the mark of the beast. He was born of Jacob. You were born of Jacob. The mark of the beast. No, the beast has no friends.
Can I ask you a question? I have coffee in my nose. I love in this movie how everyone's drinking coffee because it just reminds me of my life, and it makes these space truckers much more likable.
Dude, the first Alien movie is not about astronauts. It's not about, just exploring new worlds in a 5-year mission. It's about 7 truck drivers on a milk run going from point A to point B. And then they end up just matched up against the most lethal creature in the history of motion picture.
And they're drinking coffee while battling it.
Constantly. Because, that's what you do, man. They don't have the amphetamines that usual truck drivers have. It's just coffee, coffee, coffee,
You don't have night or day. So you're just stuck in this oppressive ship. You're kind of bored. I love coffee, man. I would just be that would be my gimmick on the ship. I'm like, oh, Mark's drinking coffee again.
Again,
Where's Mark? He's probably hiding in a corner drinking coffee. Why is he hiding in a corner? He doesn't have to.
He's got to drink all of that coffee to keep his wits about him so he can always talk about the bonus situation. Because we got to talk about the bonus situation, man.
These wages, man.
Yeah. We got to talk about the bonus situation. That's why I need my coffee, man.
And listen, Norbert, I know that you want your bonus for the Total Recall episode. That's been huge. That's been really doing great for us. I'll get there. I'll get there for you.
Look. I'll be happy to do more of these podcasts with you. If we could just talk about the bonus situation. Right.
Listen, it's in your contract.
Right. Your staff always says right.
Right. Oh my gosh, Harry Dean Stanton. And so I listened to about 4 hours worth of documentaries for this, just driving into work. And here, Stanton, when he met Ridley Scott, he just kind of said, "Yeah, I don't like horror movies. I don't like these pictures." But then he somehow got the movie.
Yeah, and my favorite thing about Harry Dean Stanton is that he's one of those people who has just always looked like he was 56 his entire life. You got him. You got Edward James Olmos.
Yeah.
That's just that skin, man.
Rob Lowe. To a similar extent. No, he hasn't always looked old. He's always looked young.
The number one guy that's like that is not Lance Henriksen. Oh my God.
Oh gosh, he still looks like Lance Henriksen from 10 years ago. Lance Henriksen from 1994's No Escape. Lance Henriksen.
Exactly. And or the underrated Lance Henriksen vehicle Pumpkinhead.
Or the 3 Yeti movies that he appeared in for some reason.
I'm sorry, 3?
3. He's been in 3 Yeti pictures.
Sister Mary Frances. Wow, I gotta look that up.
Can I ask you a question? The movie No Escape.
Please.
Is the only good. So I said, can I ask you a question? I immediately jumped into that. Should I have? When you say, can I ask you a question? Do you need to wait for a response, or can you jump into it?
Well, the irony being, can I ask you a question is a question already. So you've already asked me a question, actually.
So can I ask you one question and then another question without getting the answer to the first question is what I should have said.
Now, once you ask me those 2 questions, you've asked me already more than one question. So now we have gone, into the 7th circle of hell together.
Yeah, we're on the event horizon.
Illuminati me tutatis.
That scene at the end of Event Horizon when they're pulling the fuel cells, and then you watch Alien again, and you're like, "Oh man, Anderson!" I love that movie. I think it's highly underrated. But the thing I like about Anderson on the commentary for Event Horizon, he admits to wholesale ripping off Alien in 2001. Like he's just like, "Yeah, that's my 2001 shot. That's my Alien shot."
Completely, man.
If there's no, I didn't mean to. He's like, yeah, man, I love Alien, so I put this in there to be like a homage to it.
Not at all. You got to risk Anderson for just being an unapologetic hack, but he's at least competent. The only difference between him and Uwe Boll is that he decided at some point, hey, okay, I'm going to draw the line here. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about Paul Anderson is that he also produces his movies, and so his movies never have big budgets. So look at the budgets of Resident Evil. Look at the budgets of a lot of his films, and he has a big international market. So his movies are almost always profitable. They finish on time and on budget. So actors love working with him because you just show up and he's ready. Like, so people, that I kind of like that about him because after working on so many sets where I just stood around drinking coffee waiting, it'd be nice to work on a movie set with a guy who gets stuff done on time.
Well, now you say that, but the making of Aliens, the
brother.
UK people, Ridley Scott, Cameron was just not about, these extended tea breaks and just all the lollygagging and it's 5:00. We're done for the day. Cameron's like, look, man, I came up under Roger Corman. I get movies done.
Yeah. I don't sleep. When I'm making a movie, I don't sleep.
That's right. By the way, did I mention I designed the Alien Queen and the friggin' power loader? You guys get your ass out there. Let's make this movie. And they're like, spot of tea, brother. Earl Grey, hot. And he's like, look, I don't do this in California. You guys get and yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think you're ready for a taskmaster like James Cameron to be directing you, brother.
Actually,
are you ready for that?
I would work with James Cameron, and this is why. Because every shot that you're in, he's with you. When you're in the tanks underwater, he's scuba diving with you. When you are hanging above a lava pit, a real lava pit in Hawaii, he is there with you. When you are wrestling 14 alligators, he's wrestling one right next to you. So
right. He's done the research. He's murdered actual genetically engineered piranhas for that scene. Totally.
You just think, I hate this guy, but he's here. It's not like he's not in Video Village. Does that make sense?
It does, absolutely, man.
All right, and so actually, Norbert, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
All right, so in the movie No Escape, which I'm going back to, is the only good part the scene where Ray Liotta spears that dude, and then he runs away.
Man, look, any movie that features Ray Liotta and Kevin Dillon, who always kind of looked like Kevin Bacon at the time, and Ernie Hudson, you would expect there to be far more interesting scenes than the spearing. But I mean, Ray Liotta spearing the guy is real.
There's been some great moments in cinema, but as far as trailer moments for movies like No Escape, that's in the top 5. Because when you see that trailer moment, when you're sitting there in the trailer, in the movie theater, and you see the trailer, and this big dude screams at Ray Liotta screams at him, and then just throws a sword into his chest. That's sold 90% of the audience to go see that film.
Well, now you figure that Ray Liotta was trying to break out of his character that he had been typecast as a mafia tough guy, So now he wants to try to be Chow Yun Fat, Jet Li, outer space dystopia prison dude. But I don't think it worked that well.
Except for that one scene.
Yeah, well. Anybody just throwing a spear through your chest is awesome. In Broad Trek, what I like to call Star Trek by J.J. Abrams. In Broad Trek, you got the guy who played the Hulk. He throws a spear through a guy's chest in one of the opening scenes, and just beep. It was great. It was a great scene. Anybody throwing just rah. It's a power thing.
Also in Troy, I'm not really a fan of that movie, but I like when the guy throws a spear in the beginning, and then Brad Pitt ducks it and stabs him. No,
that's right.
Yeah, the big dude. And then Brad Pitt just kind of does a little sidestep. I love a good spear throw. I'm not going to lie about it, Norbert.
There's an accuracy and there is an intent to kill, that you got to respect when somebody just hurls a spear at you, It's not like throwing a water balloon or a snowball, we're just kidding around, or you splash water. If I throw a spear at you, minimum, I'm trying to wound. Previously.
If you did that to me when we were in Korea and somehow you miraculously struck me in my shoulder, non-life threatening, I could pull it out, pull a Vin Diesel, forget about it. Literally just forget about it. And then you and I go to work and I put a Band-Aid on it. I would be mad at you because there's no accident to that. You're not like, oh, hey man, sorry I threw a spear at you.
Not at all. Not at all. And I would be mad because I didn't hit you in, say, the collarbone or the pancreas, where I was trying to actually get you.
You were aiming for my clavicle?
Clearly, man. Clearly. You want to just throw it and you want to catch somebody minimum somewhere around the duodenum.
Movies need more snap clavicles. Hey, do you think Ash could have snapped Parker's clavicle? Because he gave him like a chest twister